We saw your report this morning on your trip to Greenland. We know you're going to be focusing a lot on sea level rise coming up next here. Just as a meteorologist who's lived along the southeast coast now for 7 years, I can tell you we've seen a lot more instances of coastal flooding at times of high tide just on a normal day. May just be a new moon or a full moon, and we're going underwater. We have roads that close down, and this is becoming more of a normal thing. Is this related to sea level rise, and how concerned do we need to be about this?
Well, it's absolutely, you're absolutely correct, Kyle, that we are seeing throughout, in fact, the Southeast, a lot of times, all the way down to Miami, they're seeing what they call sunny day flooding. If it, like you said, if the tide is right, the winds are correct, depending on the phase of the moon, places that are, are all of a sudden underwater, and they have to make changes for it. And so, yeah, it is related to sea level rise, and that's why we went to Greenland, and we've gone to other Arctic areas where the warming is happening twice as fast as it is across the country. This morning, we're going to be looking along the East Coast, where there are places that are both tourist destinations, regular homes, and even military installations that are being threatened by this sea level rise. And even for folks who don't live along the coast, they're going to be feeling effects as climate is changing, and we're seeing more violent swings in weather, where we're seeing greater amounts of heavy rainfalls that overproduce, where we see tropical systems that come inland, and while they may not be designated tropical storms anymore, they're dumping tropical storm-like amounts of rain. So everybody's got to be concerned, but there along the coast, boy, sea level rise is going to have a major impact.
Absolutely.
Al, you mentioned places along the East Coast that are going to be impacted. Here locally, we have Tybee Island that's not too far away, and they have been taking steps to, make the island more resilient to sea level rise because they're quite vulnerable. And so I was wondering, is this something where, we respond to it by adapting, but is there anything that we can actually do to prevent the sea levels from rising further?
Well, look, it's going to take a concerted effort on a local, state, national, and international level. I mean, we can do all we can about, say, perhaps putting in a barrier, helping to augment barrier islands by putting in wetlands. But you can only go so far on a local level. It takes a concerted effort from a local level all the way up to an international level. And if we make those changes now, we can at least mitigate the amount of sea level rise. But if we don't do anything, it's going to happen. And evidence is showing that it's probably going to happen faster than we originally thought. So learning to adapt and live with is probably part of our future, but depending on how fast that happens and how fast those changes are made and those modifications are made, it may be too late.
Al, just one final question. In terms of what we've already seen with climate change, when you went up to Greenland, was there anything that maybe you were surprised to see or something you weren't expecting when you went up there?
Well, we were out with these two scientists, Dennis and Denise Holland. They're married scientists, glaciologists, who are with NYU. And at the Helmheim Glacier, they measured this very warm pool of tropical water from almost the surface to way down deep. And what that suggests to them, and it's going to take them a while to analyze their findings, that this glacial melt may be happening twice as fast as originally thought. And if that is the case, we're going to see an increase in sea level rise faster than we thought. So that's really concerning.